Hello, it is Tomster here on the behalf of Indestructible Productions, continuing with the RWBY guitar. Now we have all the inlays cut out, so the next thing that we need to do is actually inlay them. So what I'm doing here, I'm actually measuring to make sure that I'm getting the inlays exactly in the middle, or if not in the middle, get the inlays themselves in the same, okay, I'm explaining this all wrong now, but basically what I'm trying to do is just make sure that the letters are all in the same place, so that they're actually aligned, because we don't want those to look off at any point. It would look very, very strange and very, very not good. So measure, measure, cut. Once again, always making sure that you're going to put your inlays in the right place. So, fairly straightforward. Basically, first I use a scalpel to mark out where the inlays would sit, and then I take this small inlay chisel and start chiseling out all the excess. Now, this would be so much easier if I actually had a very, very sharp chisel to do this. Unfortunately, I did not. But I got through fairly well. I used a couple of my sharp chisels, but they were slightly too big. This small one wasn't as sharp as I would have hoped it to be. But with the combination of sharp scalpel blades and stuff like that, I was able to push on through. Basically using a cut-to-cut method here, where I first make the initial cut with the scalpel, make it deep, and then use the chisel to excavate the wood material to that cut. Yeah, very straightforward, actually. Just making sure that the inlay sits well. If it doesn't, if there's some places where it's not sitting correctly, go back and take off more material. With the inlay sitting nicely, I flood the cavity with super glue. Usually, what you could do is use stained super glue to get away with all those edges and whatnot. Now, with the sort of issues that I had with the not so sharp scalpel blade and such, I didn't want to use that method because I was afraid that there would be splotches of black then where the cavity for the inlay wasn't exact. So using clear super glue here, because I am going to be lacquering the fretboard anyways, so it should be all well and good. Now, this episode in general is going to be a little longer. I'm trying this longer format. Please let me know what you think. I did get some comments where people were saying that the videos I was making were not long enough, so here's a little bit of a longer format to kind of test out what you guys think. The problems with the longer formats is usually I run out of things to say because it's fairly straightforward at what I'm, doing here. Always when pressing down the inlays into super glue, make sure you're wearing goggles or glasses or whatnot, because you do not want super glue to splurt in your eye. I haven't done that, but Ben from Crimson Guitars has told plenty of stories of him doing such a thing. And if you don't know Crimson Guitars, you very well should. So here I am going with the 12th fret inlay, basically just excavating the material once again. While I'm doing this, I am actually live streaming the entire thing. If you were there watching the live stream, I'm sorry for the very awkward banter. And if you weren't there for a live stream and are just watching this video, I'm sorry for constantly stopping. I'm answering some questions that people are sending in at the same time. So yeah, this is the very middle of the 12th fret inlay is basically the easiest part. The rest of it is just so small and detailed that it was really hard to do without sharp equipment. So next time that I do something like this, I now have new saw blades, which will cut like hell. They really cut amazing. So, in all honesty, I probably should have redone the 12 thread inlay, but I don't know. It's kind of like, because working on a deadline and whatnot, and it did turn out okay. It could have turned out better, but it did turn out okay. I will fix that up for the next guitar that I do. When the inlays have set, or the glue has cured, it's time to, well, file them flush with the neck. So I'm using a fret leveling file here from Crimson Guitars. Very multi-purpose tool. I use it for a lot of things, actually. And various different small files also help and work in this case. Just making sure that, like, I'm filing away at the inlay itself and not at the fretboard, because I don't want to change that at any point. Here's the older fret leveling file. It's a little coarser to get the brunt of the matter done. So yeah, all the inlays are now flush, so it's time for me to go and revisit the engraving on the IP logo here. So first I draw it out with a pencil, fairly straightforward, and then I take my trusty scalpel and start engraving. Alright, so reaching the end of the video once again. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to hit that like button, comment down below if you have anything to comment on, and press subscribe to see more content every week. I'll see you next week, guys. Bye-bye.